Grade 11. English. Unit 12. Natural disasters. 12D. Listening and speaking. Unit 12. Listening and speaking, natural disasters. Today, I'm going to interview 3 people who witnessed natural disasters. The first is Lewin Moore, whose native town is in Tegale, Ayeyarwady region. Lewin Moore, tell us about the worst natural disaster you have experienced throughout your life.
Well, I'm now 22 and it happened 13 years ago. On the 2 of May, while I was living in a small village in Bogale Township, Ayeyarwady Delta, Cyclone Nargis hit our area, which is vulnerable to cyclones as it is low-lying and open to the sea. As it was a storm surge, the winds pushed a wall of water inland, so the water got higher than buildings and trees. When the storm was over, I looked around my village. One word can't describe the situation: heartbreaking. We lost almost everything: our relatives, our homes, and our businesses.
Oh, I really don't know what to say. I'm very sorry. Right now, I'd like to ask you Tint Lewin about his experience. Can you tell us about the moment you have been affected by a natural disaster? What was the experience like?
Last year, I returned to my home country from India. I was sent to a quarantine center as it was the time of the COVID-19 pandemic. After 4 or 5 days of my arrival, I got a fever and couldn't sense any taste and smell, so I had to undergo the swab test, and the experience was very uncomfortable. Sadly, I tested positive and so I was sent to the hospital. I was lucky enough. Unlike other serious cases, I didn't have much difficulty in breathing. I was discharged from the hospital after I tested negative for coronavirus for 2 times. That 1 month was quite a hard time for me.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Now, Daw Kin Ma, can you tell us about the natural disaster you have witnessed in your life? What was it like?
One fine afternoon in August 2016, my family and I were going around the temples in Bagan. Suddenly, I felt movements on the ground and felt dizzy. As soon as we realized that it was an earthquake, we ran out from the temple quickly. Luckily, no one in Bagan was injured, but nearly 400 pagodas were damaged. Struck by a 6.8 magnitude earthquake, the place looked shredded, with collapsed walls, piles of rubble and brick debris littering the archaeological zone.
That's a shame. Well, this is the end of our interview. Thanks for sharing your experiences with us. Thank you, all the listeners, for being with us.
12D Listening and Speaking. Listen to a radio interview with 3 people and match the speakers with the disasters they have experienced. 1. Speaker 1, 2. Speaker 2, 3. Speaker 3, A. Earthquake, B. Cyclone Nargis, C. COVID-19.
A. Answers, Speaker 1. B. Cyclone Nargis, Speaker 2. C. COVID-19, Speaker 3. A. Earthquake. B. Listen again. Decide if the given statements are true, T, false, F, or not mentioned, NM. 1. Speaker 1 was 10 years old when she was affected by a natural disaster. 2. Delta areas can be easily affected by storms. 3. Cyclone Nargis hit only Beaugalais Township. 4. Speaker 2 got a high temperature while he was at a quarantine center. 5. Having a swab test was not comfortable for Speaker 2. 6. You may find it hard to breathe when you are infected by COVID-19. 7. Speaker 3 was with her friends when she experienced the natural disaster. 8. People in Bagan were not hurt in the earthquake. 9. Many famous pagodas were damaged because of the earthquake. B. Answers. 1. Speaker 1 was 10 years old when she was affected by a natural disaster. False, she is 22 now and it happened 13 years ago, so she was about 9. 2. Delta areas can be easily affected by storms. True, the area is low-lying and open to the sea. 3. Cyclone Nargis hit only Beaugalais Township. False, it affected many areas, not only Beaugalais. 4. Speaker 2 got a high temperature while he was at a quarantine center. True, he got a fever after 4 or 5 days. 5. Having a swab test was not comfortable for Speaker 2. True, he said the experience was very uncomfortable. 6. You may find it hard to breathe when you are infected by COVID-19. True, he mentioned serious cases have breathing difficulty. 7. Speaker 3 was with her friends when she experienced the natural disaster. False, she was with her family. 8. People in Bagan were not hurt in the earthquake. True, no one was injured. 9. Many famous pagodas were damaged because of the earthquake. True, nearly 400 pagodas were damaged. C. In pairs, interview each other about a terrible experience you have had using the useful language phrases in the box. Useful language, asking for information. Have you ever had a terrible experience in your life? When and where did it happen? Who were you with at that time? Tell me more about your experience. What was the hardest part of that incident and why? Describing experience in the past. It happened ago, last year. In 2018, I was living, I was sleeping, responding to bad experience. That's a shame. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear such a terrible experience. I'm very sorry. That must be awful or frustrating or scary or difficult. I really don't know what to say. I can't believe it. I'm very sorry. C. Answers, C. Sample interview, using useful language. Have you ever had a terrible experience in your life?
Yes, I have.
When and where did it happen?
It happened 3 years ago in my village.
Who were you with at that time?
I was with my family.
Tell me more about your experience.
I was sleeping at night when a strong storm hit our area. Trees fell down and we lost electricity.
What was the hardest part of that incident and why?
The hardest part was staying without electricity and clean water for several days.
I'm very sorry. That must be really difficult.
Thank for watching. Don't forget to subscribe Colorful World.